and engage each and everyone in the industry. Some things that we have been missing along the way. The importance of UIPE cannot be overemphasized. You know how we are important, how we are critical, how we are the backbone of civilization and national development. And so when you come out to talk on matters that of importance, it is quite very necessary. With us, we have important dignitaries. We have our chief guest is already in the house. We Honorable Engineer here on it, who is the Minister of Disaster Preparedness in the office of, who is the minister that has been his on here. He is the Minister of General Duties in the office of Prime Minister. I beg your pardon. You have been that docket of for a while, so it's already part of you. We thank you very much for always finding time to be with us and for being a very good time manager. It's very, very critical and very important. With us also, we have Honorable Engineer Bernard Chimeze Sebuga. He happens to, before you stand, you can remain standing, he happens to, to hold very, very many hats. He's one of us, he's an engineer, yes. He served as the president of UIPE, that is 2002, 2003. A member of ERIB board, is current council member of USCE, is a member of parliament for Butembo County, Nakasongora. And we are looking at the next minister. I want to increase numbers of ministers, of engineers who are ministers. So thank you for coming and thank you for being very supportive. We also have with us, he's also a fellow of his membership is a fellow. Is a fellow of UIPA. With us we also have Engineer Hans Mwesogwa, who is also a past president, a fellow, and you know the 8M magazine. He's the CEO of 8M magazine, and he has been very, this tall gentleman has been very active in the institution way back from when they were young and until now when you are still very young. We thank you very much. The president, of course, this is your home, you are the host. We thank you very much for coming. We have the president with us, Engineer Peter Sober, and he's the person behind this. Thank you for this. We have council members who are present. Please, you can raise for competition. Council members, VP, I can see Martin is here. Other council members, we have VP, Engineer Bacharaba, and who is behind all this voice of UIPE. We thank you very much for the initiatives.
Okay, just keep this.
So, as the program goes by, we are going to start with a documentary that takes us through a number of elements of this voice, UIPE voice. I call upon the members to play the documentary, and thereafter we have the items follow. Thank you.
look around you. The road you drive on, the bridge that carries you across River Nile, the water that flows from your tap, the electricity that powers your home and your business, the factory that manufactures the goods you use every day. None of these things happen by accident. Behind every single one of them is an engineer, qualified and competent, a member of UIPE. UIPE engineering professionals are problem solvers. They are the designers, builders, and innovators who translate vision into reality. They are the professionals who plan for safety, design for efficiency, and build for generations. In Uganda, thousands of registered engineers, technicians, and technologists are working every day to advance this nation in energy, transportation, water and sanitation, telecommunications, manufacturing, construction, and environmental management. The Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers, UIPE, is the professional body that represents engineering professionals in Uganda. UIPE is founded to promote excellence, ethics, professional development, and engineering's contribution to national development. UIPE is the institutional home of Uganda's engineering profession. UIPE sets standards, builds capacity, advocates for the profession, and connects engineers to one another, to government, to industry, and to the world.
Engineering is not just a profession, it's a civilization. It is actually the backbone of all civilization. Every road that has connected a community to an urban area, every borehole that has supplied clean water to a household, every power line that has lit up a school is designed, maintained, and really constructed by engineers. The Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers, UIPE, exists for engineering excellence. Our mandate is to promote the practice of the profession, to promote engineering excellence, but also most importantly, to give visibility to the profession, to give a pedestal, to give a platform to the profession, and to generally promote the development of engineering in the country. The engineers have been the silent builders, very present in the work, but rarely present in the conversation, rarely present in the fora where conversations affecting engineering practice, engineering excellence, in the corridors where we need to influence. We have not been very present there.
Uganda faces increasingly complex development challenges. A rapidly growing population, accelerating urbanization, climate change, the energy transition, and the pressure to industrialize and create jobs for a young nation. These challenges cannot be solved without engineering. And yet, in many of the conversations that shape Uganda's development decisions, in parliament, in policy chambers, in the media, the engineering voice has been underrepresented. The public deserves informed, evidence-based perspectives on the infrastructure systems that affect their daily lives. And government deserves the technical guidance of a profession committed to public safety and national progress.
The UIPE voice is that platform that we'll use to be able to ensure that our voice is heard. When bridges fail, the Ugandan public wants answers. When buildings collapse, the same public wants accountability. UIPE voice gives us a structured platform to be part of those conversations. Not reactively, but in a proactive manner. In order to educate, to clarify, to advocate and also hold the profession to the highest standards of ethics and practice. UIPE Voice is our way of honoring that trust. The voice helps us to ensure that we are transparent, we are accessible by the public, and we are accountable to the society that we serve.
Today, UIPE launches the UIPE Voice, a new platform designed to strengthen engagement with members, policymakers, the media, industry stakeholders, and the general public on matters of engineering, infrastructure, technology, public safety, innovation, ethics, and national development. UIPE Voice is the engineering profession stepping forward. It is regular communication, thought leadership, public education, and professional advocacy through media engagements, policy briefings, public forums, digital platforms, and community outreach. It is the profession's commitment to be heard and to make a difference.
One of the things I'm most excited about with the UIPE Voice is what it means for the next generation. Young engineering professionals need to know that their profession matters, that it has a voice, that it's respected, and that it has influence. The UIPE Voice is going to help us connect with universities, attract engineering professionals across all walks of life, help us build a culture of continuous learning and professional pride. When young engineering professionals see UIPE out there speaking, leading, and shaping policy, it will inspire them. And ultimately, that is how we build a profession that Uganda will be proud of, not just for the infrastructure that we build, but for the standards that we set, the values we uphold, and the future engineers that we develop.
Through UIPE Voice, Uganda's engineering profession will engage the media with technical expertise and professional commentary on infrastructure, technology, and national development issues. Advocate to government and policymakers for evidence-based engineering input into national planning, regulation, and investment decisions. Educate the public on how engineering shapes their daily lives and why professional standards and ethics matter. Connect with academia, industry, and international engineering bodies to share knowledge and amplify Uganda's engineering achievements. And strengthen engagement with UIPE members, keeping the profession informed, inspired, and united.
Behind every bridge, every dam, every road, every water system, every power infrastructure are engineers. And through the UIPE Voice, the engineering profession is stepping forward to inform, to educate, to advocate, to influence, and to make sure that our voice is heard. We are not just the builders of infrastructure. We are the architects of progress. And today, as a profession, we find our voice. Welcome to the UIPE Voice. Welcome to the future of engineering excellence in Uganda.
The Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers, representing excellence, upholding ethics, building Uganda. UIPE Voice, launched 25th June 2026.
Thank you, Mr. President and the team. Let's give them once again a round of applause. We are going to afford the hotel 1 minute to take us through housekeeping, issues of safety as we continue. Anybody from the hotel who is around?
Thank you. Thank you very much, moderator. All protocols observed. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Isaac Odongo is my name. A very warm welcome to Hotel Africana. This morning, I'm here to share with you a brief message that should enhance your safety and your comfort while you're in here. I therefore take this opportunity to invite each and every one of us to join me and pay keen attention to the following details. First and foremost, I would like to rest assure each and every one of us here that there is no cause of alarm. Your safety and your comfort are guaranteed. In addition to that, we strongly encourage that we register each and every participant of this function at the registration desk over there. Furthermore, we also encourage that we learn one another as much as we can, and in the spirit of humanity, we be our neighbor's keeper. In addition to that, care for our personal items. We also strongly encourage that you take good care of your valuable items such as laptops, phones, jewelry, or cash money. Please be very vigilant. Do not leave them unattended to. In addition to that, if nature calls and we need to use the washroom, the nearest to us, we can access it through that door. At the end of this block, we turn left, follow the hallway a little bit. We shall see the signage showing us where the washrooms are. As I crown it up, should you need any support from our hotel staff, please do not hesitate to contact any of us. We are around. We are at your service. We've all come as guests. I really crave that we live as friends. Thank you so much for your attention towards this matter. Have a lovely day and stay empowered. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this juncture, I will invite the chief guest, the president, Honorable Engineer Chimeze, to come and take up the front seats. Once again, we thank you very much for coming to grace this occasion. And as engineers, we are too much laid back, and the message here is that we should leave our comfort zones and be able to engage with the public, be able to engage with training institutions, be able to engage with our clients, so that our messages are always heard. But most importantly, be part of the policy, because if you are not participating, the decision that will be taken will disadvantage you. We are very much privileged that we already have our colleagues who are in parliament, our colleagues who are in cabinet. We want to expand that voice. We want the voice to be multiplied. Kindly take up your seats, and without wasting more time, let us, how we're going to go into short speeches, and I would wish to invite the president of Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers to give his opening remarks. You are welcome, Mr. President.
Our chief guest, the Honorable Engineer Hilary Onek Obaloker, Minister, Office of the Prime Minister, honorable members of Parliament present, His Worship the Lord Mayor in absentia, but he indicated that he would be coming and joining us shortly. The chairman and members of the Engineers Registration Board, who are finalizing a board meeting, to join us as well. Our patron, in absentia, Honorable Minister, our patron is in Juba. He was supposed to fly in yesterday, but the flight got delayed, so he's not able to be here with us. And he conveyed his apologies. Distinguished members of UIPE Council, the past presidents of UIPE present, the fellows of UIPE, fellow professional engineers, technologists, technicians, and student members, representatives of government, members of the general public, and members of the press. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to this historic occasion, the official launch of the UIPE Voice. Allow me, first of all, to extend our appreciation to our chief guest, Honorable Engineer Hilaronek Obaloker, for honoring our invitation and also taking off time to be with us today. Your presence signifies the importance of engineering in shaping our nation's transformation agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to begin my remarks not with statistics, not with policy, but with a simple question. When was the last time a Ugandan citizen, not an engineer, truly understood why a bridge was built where it was built? Or why a road was designed the way it was designed? In most cases, the honest answer is that they did not. Not because they did not care or were not intelligent enough to understand, but because we, as the engineers, did not make it our business to tell them. And that changes today. Today we launch the UIPE Voice, and with it we make a bold, deliberate, and overdue commitment to bring Uganda's engineering profession out of the technical corridors and into the public conversation. The Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers, UIPE, is the professional home of Uganda's licensed and practicing engineers, technicians, and technologists. We are the custodians of engineering standards, ethics, and practice in the country. We boast of a membership base of about 12,000 members plus. For decades, our members have designed infrastructure that powers Uganda's growth. They have built the roads that connect our communities, the hospitals that save our lives, the energy systems that light up our homes, and the water systems that sustain our families. Engineering is not a background profession. It is a nation-building profession. And yet, this is the uncomfortable truth that I would like us to sit with for a moment. The public has rarely heard from us directly. When infrastructure fails, journalists call politicians. When projects are delayed, the public blames bureaucrats. When a dam raises environmental concerns, communities turn to activists for answers. So where are the engineers in these conversations? Too often we have been absent. We have spoken in technical reports, in academic papers, and in closed meetings. We have hidden behind jargon when clarity was needed. We have been silent when our voices could have made all the difference. UIPE Voice is our answer to that silence. So what exactly is UIPE Voice? UIPE Voice is the official public engagement and communication platform of the Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers. It is a structured, professional, and proactive channel through which UIPE will provide regular updates to UIPE members and the engineering fraternity on the institution's activities, strategic priorities, programs, achievements, challenges, and opportunities for engagement. Through the voice, UIPE shall educate the public on engineering matters that affect their daily lives. UIPE shall clarify technical issues in language that every Ugandan can understand. UIPE shall advocate for sound, ethical, and evidence-based engineering policy. UIPE shall engage government, civil society, the media, and communities on Uganda's most critical infrastructure decisions. And UIPE shall hold the engineering profession accountable to the highest standards of ethics and practice. The UIPE voice is the loud, clear, unmistakable, and unapologetic voice of the Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers on matters of national development affecting the engineering profession. It is the UIPE with a stronger voice, one that will be proactive and invite itself to the table of public discourse. Let me be very clear about what the UIPE voice is not. It is not a political platform. It is not a platform for individual engineers to advance personal interests. And it is not a reactive crisis communication tool that we dust off only when something goes wrong. UIPE voice is proactive. When a bridge is being proposed, UIPE voice will be there, explaining what good bridge engineering looks like and what questions the public should be asking. When a building collapses, UIPE voice will be there, not to point fingers, but to explain what went wrong technically, what the regulatory framework requires, and what must change. When Uganda is negotiating a major energy project, UIPE voice will be there, providing the independent, expert perspective that policymakers and the public deserve. We will not wait to be invited into the conversation. We are purposing to show up, even uninvited. Our vision for the UIPE voice is ambitious and deliberately so. We envision a Uganda where engineering decisions are made transparently, understood publicly, and executed ethically. We envision a Uganda where a mother in Moroto understands why the water system in her community was designed a certain way and knows who to hold accountable if it fails. We envision a Uganda where a journalist covering an infrastructure story has a credible, accessible, and authoritative engineering voice to call upon. We envision a Uganda where Parliament debates infrastructure bills informed by independent engineering expertise, not just by the interests of contractors or the convenience of political timelines. And we envision a Uganda where the next generation of young engineers see this profession not just as a technical career, but as a public service, a calling to improve lives, to protect communities, and to build a nation with integrity. And UIPE voice is our vehicle for that vision. And we intend to drive the UIPE voice with consistency, with courage, and with conviction. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as myself, who has the privilege of being both an engineer and a legal practitioner as well, I am keenly aware that robust infrastructure cannot exist without strong regulatory frameworks. Our first intention, therefore, under the UIPE voice, is a direct call for legislative reform, and will be making a formal urgent appeal to the Ministry of Works and Transport and to Parliament to fast-track the law relating to the regulation of Uganda's construction industry. We need a law that will address local content concerns of Uganda's engineering professionals and streamline accountability and standards in the construction industry and business. And speaking of accountability, we must confront the uncomfortable truth within our industry: the tragic recurring building collapses across our country, including the recent incident at Chisota, along Chisota Road. These are a dark reminder and a stark reminder of what happens when professional integrity is compromised. Secondly, we are using this platform to champion local capacity. We call upon the government and private developers to strictly enforce and respect local content provisions. Ugandan engineers have the talent, the training, and the local context to lead most of the strategic national contracts and projects that are ongoing. And to ensure that we maintain world-class standard, I'm thrilled to announce that UIPE is establishing an aggressive career accelerator and graduate training program to reform the existing graduate training program. And this is tailored specifically to bridge the gap between the classroom theory and the field reality of our young engineering professionals. Tomorrow's infrastructure will be digital. Therefore, we are restructuring our training to equip local engineers with advanced capabilities in artificial intelligence, in geographic information systems, and cybersecurity for critical public infrastructure. And thirdly, we are using this platform to champion local capacity and elevate our members' expertise to ensure that our monthly briefings are backed by unmatched technical authority. UIPE has officially issued a call for an expression of interest from among our members to join a specialized pool of media experts. We want our top engineers in the different disciplines to be the ones actively steering public discourse. If you are a member with technical depth and the passion to articulate engineering truth to the world, I urge you to submit your interest even today. That pool of experts will also champion our local content agenda. Uganda is executing massive, historic infrastructure projects, from oil and gas installations to the standard gauge railway. However, these milestones lose their meaning if local professionals are relegated to the sidelines. Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, the UIPE voice belongs to all of us. To our members, use this platform to stay informed on the institution's activities and step up to lead. No more shall our members wait for the AGM to know what the institution is doing, because we shall have a platform where we tell our members what is happening in their institution, because it is theirs. To the media present today and all our stakeholders, we ask you to partner with us, to use our expert pool of experts to challenge us with your questions and to help us to transmit technical truths to every Ugandan. Let us remember that the engineers, technicians, technologists that we train, regulate, and protect today are the exact professionals who must safely build Uganda's tomorrow. I would like to end my remarks by thanking the PRPE committee. The PRPE committee is the Committee for Public Relations, Practice and Ethics, and it's led by my Vice President, whom I'm very proud of, Engineer Zaina Mpachiraba, and whom I would like to request to stand up for recognition. Together with the team of the PRPE committee, Jackie Auma, Chidu, and all the colleagues, just stand up and we applaud you for the good work done and for putting together this launch, which I find a very well organized, well-curated, and beautiful event. So I'm very grateful to the organizing team. Also to thank our service providers for enabling this to successfully happen, and all of your stakeholders for showing up in large numbers, both physically here. I'm yet to check the numbers on the online audience, but I know that many colleagues are online to witness this very important milestone for UIPE. And in a very special way, I would like to thank past President Engineer Jackson Banjizi, who is here. Let's appreciate him for graciously accepting to chair this grand launch of the UIPE Voice. Engineer Mbanjizi was my president when I served on council, representing graduate members, and he's the one who mentored me in UIPE leadership. So it is extremely gracious for me to see him here chairing, to support the work that we are doing. So thank you, Engineer, truly, truly grateful. Once again, I would like in a very special way to thank our chief guest, our Lord Mayor, who should be on his way, our patron, the honorable members of parliament, and Engineer Chimeze, who is here, for sparing time to come and join us for this launch. And also in a very special way to thank Wilberforce. Wilberforce, kindly stand up for recognition. Let's appreciate Wilberforce. I met Wilberforce about 2 weeks ago. Wilberforce hosts a property show where I appeared yesterday at 8 p.m. on NBS. But he's also into the real estate space and in the media, real estate and that kind of thing. So when we had a conversation, he said, "You're the first engineer whom I have seen wanting to speak about what engineers do." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "No, for some reason, when you invite engineers, they hide." I'm quoting you, sir. These are not my words. This is what you told me. And then I said, "Okay, so then what do we do?" Then he said, no, you guys must have a voice. And I'm very happy because you will agree that we now will be having a voice. So it's a pleasure to see you, and I know you'll be speaking to us. But the reason why I thought that we should appreciate you is that you're one of the colleagues in the media industry who understands the relevance of professionals speaking out. And the other thing that Wilberforce told me is that every time they are looking for experts to speak, he said, "How is it that I get interior designers? The interior designers are happy to come up and discuss engineering principles, but the actual engineers are absent." And I hope now you will take back the message that the sleeping lion has woken up. Yeah, so thank you very much, and I officially welcome you to the launch of the UIPE Voice for God and my country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your message. Let's give him another round of applause. And at this moment, I want to invite more two people to join this platform here. They have talked about Wilberforce. Wilberforce, you join, since you have been talked about. Find your comfort in front here. I would also want to invite Dr. Sam Stewart Mutabazi. Please join the front. And we want you to add value, and we're going to have a short panel of these experts talk about us and answer some questions. But briefly, starting from this side, just mention your name and what you think about this launch. In brief, a minute.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. the engineering fraternity. My name is Wilberforce Nsamba, and I'm a certified realtor by the National Association of Realtors in USA, and I run a company. I run two companies. One is called Credo Management. We do property management, facilities management, and agency. But I also run another company called Property 360. It's a TV, it's a multimedia real estate show that airs on NBS TV and all social media platforms. And our role is one, to showcase, to be the voice of the built environment in this country. It's a flagship premier show that brings the stories, that tells the stories to a Ugandan on what is happening in the built environment. I am happy that you're launching The Voice today, when yesterday on my show, I had the president of UIPE discuss the tragedy that happened on Chisota Road, and we gave Ugandans insight. And when you go and look up the show, the comments coming in, Ugandans are appreciating that you, the engineers, are coming out to speak. Because for a long time, we've seen people call upon engineers, and you know, now we need you to come out and take your space in the built environment, and you demystify and you bring clarity to what exactly is happening. When should an engineer, why, and what? It should be part of life. We manage properties all over the country. We have offices in Gulu, Mbarara, Mukono, Kampala. We are going into the Albertine region. And you see that
Thank you, thank you.
whatever development is happening, you guys need to come up. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that insight. I also want to invite Honorable Engineer Seboga Chimeze. Yeah, just brief introduction about yourself and what you think about this event.
Thank you very much, Session Chair, the past president of UIPE, our chief guest, Engineer Hilary Obarakero Nek, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am Engineer Seboga Chimeze, and I'm happy to be here. I have associated with this institution for very many years. I became a student member when I was at Makerere University between 1980 and 1984. I became a graduate member of the institution in 1989. I became a corporate member of the institution in 1992. I became a fellow of the institution in the year 2011, and here I am. I'm indeed happy that now we are getting closer to the people, that engineers are bringing themselves closer to the media, because the media serves as the eyes and the ears of the community that we serve. We've been serving these people behind the curtains, like Wilberforce, who has been highly talked about, has said, we have not been with the public. They don't know what we do. They don't know why we do certain things the way we do them. So it is good that we have brought ourselves close to the people, and I hope the media, which is already here, will be our ambassadors. They will be now talking about infrastructure and engineering, the way these things should be talked about. Is this brief enough?
Yeah, that's very brief.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's hear from Dr. Sam Stuart Mutawazi about briefly about yourself and what you have to say about this grand launch.
Thank you, moderator. My name is Dr. Mutawazi Sam Stewart. I'm the chairperson of Civil Society Coalition on Transport, but also a private consultant. Very passionate about issues to do with transport and urban planning. And I'm very glad to be here. I want to take this opportunity to thank the President, whom I'm very glad that he's really waking up the engineering profession. It's been 15 years of my talking and engagement to ensure that the engineering profession takes up the right place in Uganda. Without the engineering profession really becoming very vibrant, we are just moving in circles. And so thank you, President, for the engagement, and we look forward to coalesce the forces to make sure that we take the place that engineering is supposed to have. Thank you so much.
Thank you. To you, Honorable Engineer Chimeze, yeah, if UIP voice is successful in 5 years, what impact would you hope to see? Yeah. Engineer Chimeze.
We shall be seeing engineers working amicably together with the community. The community will be knowing what we are doing. We shall have demystified the work of an engineer, because we shall always be there using the UIPE voice to tell the people what we are doing and why we are doing it that way. There's nothing that we shall be hiding. We shall learn to be with the people. We shall learn to talk to the media. The media will be coming to us, and we shall not be hiding from this media. We shall use the media positively. The media will understand us. In a few circumstances, the media has not been understanding us. This is because the two groups, the media and then the engineers, have not been working closely together. The vice president of is at the PRPE, who has steered this under the leadership of Engineer Peterson, has rightly said that this is going to be proactive rather than reactive. We don't want instances that there's been a building collapse in Kisasi and everybody runs there. We should be informing people why buildings should be constructed properly. I happen to have been a chief materials engineer in the Ministry of Works and later commissioner for quality management in the same ministry. That was between 1999 and 2005. Investors do not want to sink their money into ground investigations, for example. The man is going to put up a 5 billion shilling complex, but he does not want to spare 50 million shillings or 100 million shillings to investigate the ground where he's going to put that building. Does it make economic or engineering sense? How do you put your building up there when you don't know where you are founding it? So all this will come now into the fore. People will be informed what they should do and why they should be doing it. So there will be understanding and a number of benefits that will accrue from this practice.
Well illustrated. Thank you. To you, Wilberforce, you are from the media. Why do engineering and infrastructure stories often struggle to gain public attention?
Thank you very much. I think the disconnect is that many properties have been showed at the tail end when they are completed and they look beautiful. But the engineering that we want to see, the stories that we want to tell, even on Property 360, is to show the knowledge behind, the thinking, the vision behind every property before it comes on board. When you look the way I showed you the interviews that I do, even when I was with Engineer Peterson, it is the science behind, because engineering is a science. Why is the dam constructed the way it is? Why is the road constructed the way it is? But also, we go even the extra mile of saying, after this infrastructure is set up, what should happen? When you look at the expressway being constructed and it opens up that entire corridor, I think their engineering has spoken to economic growth, has spoken to the entire infrastructure of the area in which it's constructed. So I think the reason why most of these stories have not been connecting with the people is that we've not told the stories behind, the rationale behind, and the mind put behind. But if we go back and start to show what really goes into a foundation, what really goes into a geotechnical report, what land is suitable for what kind of, when engineers come up and own the conversation, then Ugandans will start to appreciate why there's a need to engage these professionals right from when you're ideating until when you have this product on the market.
Thank you very much for the response. Let's hear from Dr. Sam. your question is what engineering issues affecting ordinary Ugandans are not receiving enough public attention today, in your own view?
Thank you, Engineer Mbanjizi. When we are talking with my colleague, Madame Binta, President of UNAPSEC, actually, I'm glad you're here. The engineering profession has a lot of things that are not coming out into the public. And I think it's because mainly engineers are quiet people and they were trained to bring out the things to create. And so we've not really reached there to speak for the profession and make sure that it takes its place. But I have two important things, Engineer Mubanjizi, that I want to highlight. Number one is that the engineering profession, one of the weaknesses of the engineering profession in Uganda is lack of confidence. I think most of the engineers in Uganda lack the confidence to know that they can do it and that they can do the work that engineers elsewhere do. Engineers in UK, in America, in anywhere. It's doable and it can be done. And this has been our song that if only we can give a chance to Ugandan engineers, the bridges, name the roads, the highways, and everything can be done if only the confidence is there. And that is what is lacking mainly. Secondly, to make sure that we guide the public debate in terms of issues that affect engineering. And I want to highlight one thing specifically. During the budget which has just been passed by Parliament, the government has proposed to introduce a tax on cement, which is a very wrong decision that government has done. Cement is the main ingredient in construction. In fact, the Chinese have managed to develop their country because of the cement industry, clinker. A bag of cement costs approximately less than 10,000 equivalent. And that's why you are seeing massive construction in China. So instead, we need to make sure that Uganda produces a lot of cement for us to be able to catch up. We are so behind in terms of infrastructure because the materials are expensive and because we are not well pointed towards what we would want to achieve. And therefore, the engineering profession, you have so many engineers who are without work, not because there is no work, but because we are not sure of where we should put them. Our roads are not made. We don't have hospitals, structures. We don't have buildings. Infrastructure is development. If you don't have infrastructure, you don't have development. So, President, we need to have that voice speaking to policymakers, speaking to government, and with, for instance, that issue of cement, we must make sure that cement is very affordable, very cheap. In China, it's equivalent to about 150 per ton. They don't buy in bags. If you are to construct a big dam, how many bags of cement will you require? So if you put tax on cement, you are actually killing the whole construction industry. Thank you, President.
Thank you very much. Each one of you, ending this question and answer session, each one of the three that have answered the questions, what is one issue that would immediately benefit from the UIP dialogue with with the industry, with the engineers, with policymakers, and citizens at large? One issue, in your view. I start with, from this side, Mr. Samba.
I think mine is about educating and sensitizing the masses why we need the professionals, from ideation all the way to dispose of a property. That need to educate and sensitize the public to consider professionals all through the value chain of the built environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much to you, Honorable Engineer Chimeze.
Nearly similar to what Wilberforce has said, there will be information available to everybody who wants it. They will know where the engineers are and who the right engineers are, what type of specialization they are into, who does building construction, who does road construction, what do the different people need. They would know. One time there was a building collapse, and the owner of that building confessed that he didn't know there were laboratories which do test materials in this country. And he was building a complex. I will not name it. The building collapsed 20 years ago when I was active in this service, and the man confessed that he didn't know there were laboratories involved in testing materials.
Okay.
So information will be readily available.
Thank you. And to you, Dr. Sam. One national issue.
I would say the key thing is to make sure that the work of construction is done by Ugandans. We must make sure that Ugandans, if they are to make mistakes as engineers, let them make them. But it should not be Chinese to do the work of construction. We cannot continue. In the 1970s, Uganda had engineering profession which was a bit high. You had companies that were doing some good construction work. We have since regressed. The Chinese, the Italians, name them, made mistakes in 1800 when they were doing construction. We must be allowed to make those mistakes as we pull up our socks, as we increase our skills. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you give them, join your hands to appreciate their feedback, their engagement? Can we have one or two from the house who can say something? Any question, any comment, any insight about this launch? Can I see any hand coming up? One or two? Yes. You can introduce yourself. If there is no microphone available where you are, you can move over here. Wait a second, anyone? I want to, just two. Okay, there's a microphone, yes. Come here. The second one will use the microphone. Be on standby there.
Thank you, moderator. Honorable Minister, our President, members allow me to stand on existing protocol. This platform for the voice, I want to assure the property representative, Wilberforce, that the Indians have not been hiding. Maybe not that we fear to be on the platform, but we have been engaged in public domain. We have been on NTV, UBC, maybe even on NBS. We are there to talk about AI with the Engineers Registration Board. The only thing we just need to do, just to amplify and make sure that this platform addresses four things, just in what the President has said. But this is what I captured. Number one, to be a promotive voice. We are going to use this platform to promote innovative solutions, such that the young engineers in universities are able to pick up what is happening in the industry. That is lacking. Even when we are on NTV trying to bring out the role of engineers in the industry, we realized information in the public domain is not existing. Number two, prohibitive voice. We are going to use this platform to reasonably bring out why we reject certain designs. We also happen to escort the Right Honorable Mr. Nabanja to see what the National Channel is bringing on board. We are a voice, and we spend almost 5 hours trying to advise the developer. So we are trying to do work. The only thing is that the media may not capture everything we do, but some records are there. We are going to use this platform to have the evidence-based and objective. We are going to use the empirical data to give statistics that could enable the infrastructure development in this country. The other one is solution-oriented. We are going to provide solutions. So it's not going to be a voice to complain. It's going to be a voice to demonstrate capacity and offer ourselves to help the public. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Mboga. Can we have one more from the audience, from the house? Yes, past president. Yes, microphone is coming over.
Thank you, MC. Thank you, protocol observed. I am excited, very excited, that the UIPE voice is coming. And I have heard the president say why it is there. Just allow me to give an instance where this voice is very much needed. I have had the chance, the bad or the good chance, to chair investigations of the collapsed buildings. One was the one that killed many people in Jinja. Another one was another one that killed equally very many people in Kansanga. And in this we had found, we thought, we graded the faults as follows. One, that the clients, the developers, were at fault because we normally say ignorance of the law is no defense. So we would be saying that they should have taken on professionals. Then we found that the authorities sometimes are also at fault because they don't discover who is doing wrong before the wrong comes to the worst. But then we thought the professionals in here were number 3 because their voice were not heard to show how to design and all that. But now the voice to me is, you're going to make it number 1, Mr. President. Instead of blaming the public, that is your fault. If you don't know that your 10-story building needs investigations of the soil, Mr. President, I think you're saying, let's not wait for him to have the disaster, but let us quickly face the public and tell them, even before they do things. That's one thing that has excited me. And so, I am asking UIPE to face the challenge. This voice, I'm hoping, will go out in the paper form, will go out in the e-form, will go out in the audio form, will go out in video form, will go out in animations form, so that, number 1, we educate and become great friends with the people that we should serve. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's give them another round. I request Mr. Nsamba and Dr. Sam to resume seats their side. Yeah, this launch of the voice is coming at, I think, the most critical time. When you look at the infrastructure development in Great Kampala alone, there is a lot that is going on where, and our voice is needed on a number of things. You know, the complaints that come from the public when those roads are not easily accessible, as rehabilitation of infrastructure is going on. When the standard gauge railway is taking shape, as you are aware, anytime the construction may resume. Look at the building construction and the strict reliability intended to eliminate the quacks. Engineers need to occupy their space. It is this year that we expect the oil to come out of the ground. So there is a lot, and all those projects, there are engineers behind them. And we need to have our voice and occupy the space. And of course, all that need policy engagement so that we don't lose it out. If the policy is wrong, we won't occupy our space. So those who are representing us, yes, you have constituencies, but just know this is also your constituency. when I was campaigning in Rama East, I was telling them that I have another constituency, which is the engineering profession. And indeed, I know you are our voices as well. At this moment, we are getting closer to the main item, which is the launch. And just before that, we are going to have remarks from the chief guest, and subsequent to that, we go into the events of the launch. Allow me to invite Honorable Engineer Chimeze, who will have bigger shoes of inviting the chief guest to address us. Thank you.
Is it on? Thank you very much, my colleague, past President, Engineer Jackson Mubangizi, the session chair here, our guest of honor, the President of UIPE, Engineer Peterson Mwesiga, and the entire UIPE Council, colleague, past presidents of UIPE, I see in the house, besides Engineer Jackson Mubangis, there is the veteran Engineer Hans Mwesigwa. I see Engineer Andrew Muhwezi. Thank you for coming. Distinguished guests who are here. Dr. Sam Stewart has been highly introduced. We have been with him here. He's an ardent spokesperson of civil society when it comes to matters of transport. And Madame Binta, who is the president of UNABSEC with an S, for those of you who may not know. Ladies and gentlemen, I add my voice to welcome you here at this wonderful and memorial UIPE function. Thank you for coming. I'm delighted to see many of you here, particularly people from the media. Thank you for turning up to be part of what we are talking about. Wilberforce, who has been talked about highly, thank you for joining us and once again reminding us and stimulating us into what we should indeed be doing. A few words have been said in the since we came this morning, that engineers have been in the background. They haven't come to the fore to say what they are doing. Somebody, I think it has been the engineer, the former vice president, is he still vice president, who said we have been doing something. We have been doing something, but I think we should do more. We should be seen more than we have been seen before, and get to the table where discussions and negotiations are made. So that engineers come to the front and get heard like the rest of the people. The medical personnel have built up their profession and they are actually listened to. They can lobby government and get what they want to a good extent. The lawyers have built up their profession and they can lobby policymakers. They can lobby government. The engineers also have got to stand up and do something, raise up their voice, and negotiate and discuss with the policymakers. I think this voice is going to help us get there. This voice will bring us close to the public. The public and the community that we serve will now be closer to ourselves, so that we'll have meaningful dialogue and discussions, so that going forward, everybody knows what we are doing. Like we all agreed, they will know where the information is. They will have that knowledge. They will know the engineers to go to. They will have the right questions and know where to direct them. Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, I was asked to introduce our guest of honor. The other one was just my preamble. Our guest of honor is Engineer Hilary Onek Obaloker. He is a fellow of the Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Civil Engineering and a Master of Science degree in Civil Engineering, specializing in dams and hydraulic structures. Between 1980 and 1983, he was a lecturer at Makerere University in the Faculty of Engineering. Indeed, this is the time I met him. He was my lecturer. In 1983, from 1983 to 1988, he was the chief engineer in National Water and Sewerage Corporation. I remember he told us a story. You know, in that period of 1983 to 1988, water was scarce in the water pipes. And one day, the Honorable Minister of Water, who was Honorable Max Chodro, I think, he hailed from Karamoja, went back home, and when he went to the bathroom, water went into his head. Water flowed from the pipe. He asked himself, what has happened? There has been no water here. How did water come here? Engineer Hilary Onek had opened the water. He had opened the water taps in Kampala, so we remember him for that. Between 1988 and 1998, he was the managing director of National Water and Sewerage Corporation. Between 2001 and 2006, he was served as Member of Parliament, Lamu County. Lamu County, that time, was part of Chitugumu district, for those of you who may not know the geography of this country. Between 2006 and 2009, he served as Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry, and Fisheries. Between 2009 and 2011, he was Minister of Energy and Mineral Development. Between 2011 and 2026, he has been Minister of Disasters and Disaster Preparedness and Refugees in the office of the Prime Minister. 2 weeks ago, or thereabout, he was named the Minister for General Duties, Office of the Prime Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular honor to invite my own lecturer, Engineer Hilary Onek Obalake, to come and speak to us. And every time I meet him, I bow down because he was my lecturer. So when I meet him in Parliament and everywhere, I bow. Yes, you're most welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Engineer Kimeze. Honorable Kimeze, the President of our Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers, Engineer Meshiga, all the other engineers, colleagues who are here, I'm really delighted that you have reached this stage in your development of our profession. Before I came here, I spoke with my president, the President of the Republic of Uganda, and I told him I was coming to talk to you, fellow engineers, and coming to launch the UIPE voice He was really happy about it. And he sent you warm greetings. He told me to tell you that science, technology, and engineering basically forms his policy guidelines, the basis of his policy guidelines in managing this country. He knows science, technology, and engineering is a driving force for social economic transformation and evolution of society. Society evolve, grow with more knowledge in science and technology. And that one also impacts into their reaction, into their performance, into the way they do their things, the way they behave, the way they perform, they do, the way they respond to the challenges that confront them. So it is actually science, technology, engineering is a driving force for our socio-economic transformation. And that one is the President's message. And for that, he also told me that I should inform you that he will continue working with engineers. Currently, he has appointed engineer Asimwe as the Minister for Science and Technology in his office. And therefore, we are closer to the throne than you people know. Engineers now determine the fate, the policies of this country. So, let me read my statement on this occasion, for which I'm really delighted, the honor you have given me to come and do that. I know behind the scene, we have been working very hard in Cabinet to see that engineers come out. And right now, government also appreciates, all ministries know that any engineer to be employed, he must be a registered engineer, qualified engineer. Before that, they were just employing anybody, and there were a lot of mistakes being made. But this time, less and less mistakes are made. Even at the district level, all district engineers now are supposed to be registered engineers, not just any engineer. So those are some of the challenges, some of the achievements that we have made during the past 20 or so years. Now, it is both a honor and privilege to join you today on this significant occasion as we launch UIPE Voice. Today we launch a platform not only for engineers, but for government, industry, academia, media, citizens, who seek informed perspectives on the infrastructure development and challenges facing our country. Allow me to congratulate Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers for this visionary initiative. The launch of UIPE Voice is not merely the introduction of publication or communication channel, it is unveiling of the national platform for dialogue, thought leadership, public engagement, and professional visibility. Through this platform, engineers will have a stronger voice in shaping public understanding and national development. The documentary that we have just watched powerfully reminds us of a simple truth. Behind every highway, bridge, clean water systems, and industrial plant driving Uganda on, towards the Vision 2040 are engineers. Yet, despite these immense contributions, the engineering profession often remains visible to the wider public. Too many of the solutions that improve lives every day remain hidden behind the site gates. Technical reports and project completion certificates. UIPE Voice seeks to change that narrative. As Uganda accelerates its journey towards industrialization, infrastructure expansion, digital transformation, climate resilience, and sustainable economic growth, engineering expertise will become an even more critical component. The conversations hosted through UIPE Voice can help ensure that these national priorities are informed by sound technical knowledge and practical experience. As a fellow professional engineer, I agree completely with the President, Engineer Mosiga. Technical experience alone is no longer enough. In our modern economy, engineers must step forward to communicate clearly, shape public policy, and lead national conversations. This is where UIPE Voice become particularly relevant. In an age where public opinion increasingly shapes policy, that is, generally they say Wolokoso is normally the one which drives people now. Investment and development priorities, professions that do not communicate risk being misunderstood. If we don't communicate, we always remain misunderstood. UIPE Voice provides engineers with an opportunity to explain their work, share evidence-based perspectives, and contribute meaningfully to national conversations. I think this is a crucial matter here, because I remember in 1996, when they were going to construct, when they were designing and trying to expand Kira hydropower station in Jinja, I vehemently opposed that expansion because I knew that the current ON force dam was sufficient. It would be enough to carry on all the water of the Nile, because there were, out of the 10 turbines, only 6 were working. So the excess water, those engineers mistook that these were extra water. Therefore, they needed to construct on the other embankment another hydropower station. But then when those other turbines were repaired and they were functioning, there was not more water for the extra expansion. But they went ahead, and I struggled with them in vain. In 1996, they continued. They started, they built a place, that extension. But when they started drawing up water from the lake, from Lake Victoria, of course I knew the hydrology would not sustain those two running systems. So lake level started dropping, and I calculated, I gave them, I said that within 1 year, we shall drop by 1 meter, 0.2. And in 2 years, we shall drop by 2.4 meters. The lake level will drop. Because we are borrowing that reserve, from that reservoir, and at a rate which is higher than the input. Eventually, by 2002, 2003, the lake level dropped substantially over 2.5 meters down. And our neighbors, Kenya, Tanzania, started complaining. It became a disaster. Now they went back to my record when I complained. They said, now you told us what happened. I said, yes, you made a mistake. It was too late. So they had to re-engineer the whole system again, close and make sure that they rebuild back the water levels. That time, this kind of voice was not there, because I'd wanted really to have that publication made in this kind of voice, which are more technical voice, so that the message is clear and those mistakes would not have been made. But this time, this voice will help us. If there are such technical errors to come, it will be seen in the voice, and then other voices, other people can verify and see how it can be corrected. This launch is timely. It will serve as a platform for thought leadership, public education, advocacy, and professional discourse. It will also help bridge the gap between the technical expertise and public understanding. It will also provide an avenue through which engineers can explain complex issues in simple language, share innovative solutions, contribute to policy debates, and inspire the next generation of engineering professionals. I commend UIPE for recognizing that professional relevance today requires visibility, engagement, and leadership beyond project sites and technical reports. By establishing UIPE Voice, UIPE is positioning itself not only as the custodian of engineering standards, but also as a trusted source of knowledge and strategic partner in the national development. Actually now in government, any major decision which involve in technical matters, we always refer that to our institution of professional engineers. They are always invited to participate in decision making on any technical matters brought before cabinet. That one I can assure you, that was my effort. I made sure when I was there that engineers are not bypassed, even if they are consultants from outside, but those consultants have got different interests from Uganda's interests. Our interest here is guarded by our own engineers. So that is the difference. I've taken note of UIP concerns regarding modernization of the engineering regulatory framework and to the need to strengthen professional accountability. It is true, some of you now adore and honor money more than your profession. You adore money, you think that is the solution. But I think, give a second thought to it, because what will make you in society stand out as a pillar is your profession. If you stand firm and you are successful professionally, you are respected. You can be a rich man, but people will look at you as a fool, and somebody who adores money and nothing. There is no professionalism in you, and yet you have learned you are an engineer. You should never do that. So government remains committed to working closely with the stakeholders to ensure that engineering regulation keeps pace with the demand of Uganda's development agenda. Government values UIPE, Uganda Institute of Professional Engineering, as a strategic partner in delivering safe, sustainable, and resilient infrastructure. And we work forward to deeper collaboration through platforms such as UIP Voice. So we shall work with this voice that you are establishing. I encourage engineers across Uganda to embrace this platform. Let it become a space where innovative ideas are shared. You can even professionally quarrel in that Uganda institution, in the voice. That is accepted. Engineering quarrels is actually difference of opinion, advancing different. So you can only quarrel better if you do more research. If you do more research and keep reading, because some engineers have become now administrators. They sit there, they've lost touch with books. Long time ago, they are only deciding, they are carrying the title, but they are just sitting there. They don't even open a page. So you cannot, you cannot argue. There now you begin to argue like a layman in a professional area. Now that's not good. So I want you people to really keep pace with your profession. Be current at all times, because there are new research being done in different topics. Maybe in a certain formula that you know, there's a small factor there added that you never looked at before. So you'll be doing the traditional way, and yet people have moved ahead. So you must always keep in pace with your profession. Where professional experience are documented, where emerging challenges are discussed, and where practical solutions are proposed, let it be a platform that celebrates excellence while promoting accountability, integrity, and a continuous learning within the profession. That is that voice that you are establishing today. It should be able to perform that. I want to specifically commend UIPE President and the team for the initiative of creating a pool of media experts through the newly issues called for expression of interest. This is a great approach to close the gap between technical expertise and public understanding. By creating a pool of media experts, UIPE is taking a proactive step to ensure that engineering perspectives are represented accurately and consistently in public discourse. This initiative will help transform engineers from technical experts into trusted public voice on national development. I urge all qualified members in attendance to answer this call and step into the media arena. Don't step into the media as a populist, because those will not be helpful. Step there as a professional in the sense that you'll be communicating what technically can be helpful to society. What is helpful technically to society. I also encourage stakeholders in government, academia, industry, development agencies, and media to engage actively with the UIPE voice. The complex challenges facing our society require multidisciplinary collaboration, and engineering perspectives are essential to finding sustainable solutions. Right now in my new docket, I've got sustainable development plan. So that along those principles of sustainability, it is essential that we really make sure that whatever we do here are sustainable and even progressing and developing. Furthermore, I'm glad to hear that UIPE voice will act as a dual facing tool. It is not just a platform for public advocacy. It is a vital internal anchor to keep our members actively updated on institutional triumphs or success, updates, and ongoing council activities, transparent internal and communication in the foundation of professional solidarity. Ladies and gentlemen, the most successful nations are those that fully harness the intellect of their professionals. Uganda's journey towards sustainable economic transformation requires your active vocal leadership. You know, countries like China now is moving faster than even America, technologically. Why? Because their leadership base is in technology and engineering. Their president is an engineer. China's, they call him Secretary General of the party. All those Politburo members, most of them, majority of them are all engineers. Similarly, Russia is the same. Most of those engineers are, most of the leadership are engineers. But contrary, you see now in America, most of the leaders are social scientists. And they are not, they are kind of dampening, going down a little bit in terms of innovation and shooting up, although they still have bigger wealth, but that is based on the past. And if that trend continues, those other countries are going to surpass, will go much further than even America. So in Uganda today, in Africa, I want us, Uganda, to really take the lead, to make sure engineers have a bigger voice this time. We already have a big voice, but let's increase the tone to be higher a bit so that we dampen all other peripheral areas, the other peripheral voices. I know my brother Kimeze has already come on board. Engineer Kiki is there already heading now science and technology in the office of the president, and so on. We are a few there, but we are very decisive there when we are inside. So we shall work together on those. UIP Voice, therefore, represents more than a communication platform. It symbolizes a profession stepping forward with confidence, responsibility, and purpose. It is a declaration that engineers are ready to participate more visibly in national conversations, contribute to public understanding, and help shape the future of our country. May UIPE Voice become the platform where engineering meets public understanding, where innovation informs policy, and where professional expertise contributes directly to Uganda's transformation. May it inspire future generations of engineers and ensure that the voice of the profession is heard wherever decisions about our nation's development are made. I encourage our youth, young engineers, to be more vibrant and forge forward and really take the lead. We have already set the foundation for them in government. Your future is now very bright. You can even go to hit the sky professionally. As I conclude, I would like to congratulate the Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers, Mr. President, and your team on this remarkable achievement. It is now my singular honor and pleasure to officially launch Uganda Institution of Professional Engineer Voice and wish a great success as a platform that informs, engages, advocates, inspire generation of engineers and citizens alike. I thank you for your attention, for God and my country.
Wow. Let's stand up and put our hand together for the chief guest for his great message. And as I mentioned earlier, for loving his home, UIPE. He's always with us whenever we need him around. Yes, we thank you for the launch, but further to that, we are going to have a series of other short activities as part of the launch. Yes, who is Engineer Andrew, past president? Has he moved out? Okay, I will recognize him once he returns. We are going to have the signing, digital signing as part of the launch. Thereafter, there is an unveiling of the UIP launch voice. We'll cut the cake. We'll have the group photo. All those are part of the launch. So the events are going to follow one after the other. So can I invite the team that is responsible for the signing to come over here so that we invite those who are supposed to sign and have the that part done. Please come over here. So those who have been selected for signing, Engineer Bacharaba, can you come over here? Zainab, Engineer Zainab. Okay, so we are going to have the chief guest. We are going to have, of course, the president. We are going to have Honorable Engineer Chimeze. We are going to have Engineer Hans representing all of us from the house. Please, maybe we'll start one by one. Honorable Chief Guest, Honorable Nick, you can come over to sign. Okay. You will stand here to witness as you come to sign. You will sign the last as electronically, but you will stand here to witness. You will stand here first to witness. So let me call Engineer Hans to come and do the signing. Yeah, the chief guest witnesses. Pen. Okay, right. Okay, you can stand there, stand behind there, stay around.
Will I sign last?
Yeah, yeah. Let me invite Honorable Engineer Chimeze. Don't touch here. Okay, I also sign. Mr. President, it's your turn. Okay, you can stay. And finally, the chief guest, and boom, the launch of the voice is confirm, right? And touch there as well as the commissioning. Wow, wow. Thank you.
Sorry, there was one item, one thing missing in the introduction. Between 2011 and 2013, I was Minister of Internal Affairs. I was a policeman. So then I went to Prime Minister's office thereafter. Thank you.
So you stand here for, maybe you come in front here for a group photo. We are going to proceed with the cutting of the cake. Those responsible, please take a lead. Yes, let's do the counting and from 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1, 0. Congratulations, Mr. President, and everyone else. uh, the serving of the cake is going to continue as we do other events, and next is the unveiling of the UIPE voice. If you have a what?
With a lot of happiness for this great achievement, today we are going to launch and open the UIP voice together for God and my country.
Thank you very much. We are going to resume our seats, and the president will hand over the gifts, and thereafter we have the group photo for all of us as we close this event. Mr. President, please take over there.
So as the cake is served, I request that the gifts for our guests be brought here to me. So colleagues, on behalf of UIPE, would like to thank all of you, but in a special way thank our chief guest, the Honorable Minister, for making time to come and join us. I just want to say how colleagues, especially the senior colleagues, were very excited when we said that you'd come and join us. They are very glad that you're able to make the time. Very highly regarded, very highly respected. But also I want to say something that probably has not been announced, and I'll just steal the news, but I know that the institution will have an opportunity to celebrate this achievement. The Honorable Minister was recently elected as a distinguished fellow of the World Federation of Engineering Organizations. That is the highest it gets. So congratulations, Honorable Minister, and we are very proud as an institution, and I think we'll have the opportunity to celebrate that. So without wasting time, with your permission, I would like to use a term that is used in intelligence called recruiting. I would like to recruit you, Honorable Minister, to be a voice, or let me say a member of the UIP voice, which you were because you are a member. But I did, when you look at how I'm smart, I thought that I would make you smarter than that. So I'd like to present to you the official regalia, the official attire of the UIP voice. And the Honorable Minister has a bigger team. Minister is like the president of UIPE. He does not move alone. The minister and the president are both big men, isn't it? So I would like to present another item for the minister's team to be received by the minister on behalf of his team. And through you, Minister, when you put on that attire to cabinet, and the colleagues in cabinet see you, will have recruited the entire cabinet. So our idea is to recruit His Excellency, to recruit the cabinet into what we are doing through the UIPE voice. So thank you very much. Now I'll go to Parliament and present our official gift, our regalia, to the Honorable Engineer Sebuga Chimeze. And Honorable, we request that when you're going to Parliament, I know there are rules of procedure, but I also know that the rules have some exceptions under which you can proceed. So you will put on that regalia, and through we shall recruit the entire Parliament in what we are doing in the voice. I would also like to present to Engineer Hans Mwesigwa, past president. Thank you, Engineer Hans. Wilberforce is, where's Wilberforce? Who was here on the panel? We had something for him. Is there a colleague from NBS who can receive it? It appears he stepped out. But wanted to present something to Wilberforce. And through Wilberforce, we are recruiting the entire media fraternity. Honorable Minister, I don't know that we mentioned that this event will be broadcast live every last Thursday of every month between 10 and 11:30 a.m. So every month we'll be having this interaction with the media. And through this interaction, we shall do two things. Number one, we shall tell our members what the institution is doing. We shall also be honest to them about the challenges we are facing. But also we'll be able to engage, having these public engagements as we've been saying. So we had wanted to recruit, so I would like to request a colleague from the media fraternity to come and receive on behalf of Nsamba, but really on behalf of the other media colleagues who are here. Anyone stepping up? Yeah, you're welcome. You come and receive. You'll pass it on to Samba. And then very finally, we have the president of UNABSEC. UNABSEC is a sister organization, and they rebranded recently because they used to be UNABSEC with a C, and now we have UNABSEC with an S, which is an expanded UNABSEC. So they understand branding and rebranding, and for the spirit that we share, for the work that we do together, and for our continued partnership, I would like to request you to come here, and we recognize you formally, but also give you our official regalia as the UIPE voice, every time we show up for the voice, we shall be dressed like this, like the way I'm dressed. And so that you take the message back to your knapsack, that the engineers will now speak. Okay, so thank you, colleagues. I think I will ask Engineer Jackson to come and wrap it up. Thank you for making the time. We are very proud as an institution of this moment, and we look forward to many more such engagements. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President, and everyone else in the House for gracing this occasion. We are getting the end, but as I mentioned, the last item is a group photo. I think we'll be able to have it in front here. So I will call upon everyone to come over here. We reorganize ourselves into a group photo. This is part of our history as an institution, and I congratulate you for being part of this history in making. Thank you very much. Please, let's have a group photo. And that will be the last event. As you move, you can start moving. I'm advised that we are going to have here in front, then thereafter we turn and have it at the back. So 2 photos. So start coming forward, forming for a group photo. We thank you for coming. We appreciate your presence. You have made it quite colorful. Thank you very much.